All right, all right. Thanks for joining again for another episode of Evening Crypto here with your host, your boy, the real SHA-256. Happy to bring you another update. I'll try to make this one as quick as possible. Not much to talk about within the altcoin range. Not much to really say there. So this might help us keep things a little bit shorter than usual. For some reason, every time I try to keep it short, I just keep going over my my allotted time. So I will do my best to keep this very short and sweet. Give you guys the nitty gritty, the information, the important information you need to know about the price of Bitcoin, where we're headed, and the possible scenarios. So thanks for joining again. Hopefully, you will get something out of this in exchange for your time. And if you do, please make sure to like the button and hit the subscribe button down below, and also the notification bell so you do get these updates when I put them out. Um, so let's get right to it. Um, I'm staying uh, with this chart that I've been working off of for the last, I don't know, maybe month or so. Then telling you guys we are in the more macro trend. This is our formation, sort of a bullish flag. I keep getting criticism from some of you guys that someone asked me, how is this a bullish formation? You know, how is it not a bullish formation? My question to you. And if I mean, it's okay if you vary in opinion and you have a different opinion of things. That is completely okay. I don't expect you to agree with me every time or on everything or whatever. So, but don't just say, hey, don't just say this is not a bear formation and then just leave it at that. What are your thoughts behind it? What is your reasoning behind that? Why do you think this is a bear formation as opposed to a bullish scenario here? Give us your thoughts, man. This is what the channel is about. We want to make sure that we discuss, on a healthy level. We're not trying to like disrespect anybody, and no disrespect to that individual who says that this is not a bullish case scenario. Let us know what you think. Where do we disagree? And let's have a nice conversation, and then other people can benefit from that conversation. Other people will be able to read the comments, or maybe I'll talk about it here on the video, and then we can go over and discuss. And then people again will learn from everybody's perspective. I mean, there's no right or wrong way. If something is working for you, then how can that be wrong? This is working for me. I don't think I'm wrong. So anyway, enough of that. Been working on this formation, and we do see here now. It does look like we have played out this move. It does look like we've played out the Adam and Eve. Sorry, I was going to say cup and handle, but it's an Adam and Eve, right? We have um, this sharp dip, a sort of a V formation. Top it up here, kind of like where we did initially here. This pivot high, and then we sort of round it up towards the top of this formation here, and then we did break out of it, and we have been if we look at the higher time frames, which we really want to look to have confirmation that we have actually made the move and we're officially now done with this formation and we can move on to other things. We did get several daily closes above it. So this was the formation. Now, again, we have left that. We are no longer in this formation. This is something that I'm going to keep as reference for the past. And look at that. For those who were saying or calling for a bearish scenario or saying that this is not a bullish scenario, this is. I mean, it turned out to it actually broke to the upside. And again, leaving this formation behind, we are now in a new trend, a new formation, and we have new things to talk about, new things to look forward to. So we can definitely say that at this point, I mean, there's been one close, open and close, open and close, open and close above it on a daily. So I'm like 90% sure that this is a new trend now. So I am going with that for the time being, unless like within a sooner rather than later time frame we get back into this trading zone and we respect it again. We maybe go back and retest the support down here. Then at that point, I can say that okay, we haven't really left it, but that would be very, in my eyes, that would be something that would be kind of odd and bizarre. Bitcoin doesn't really typically, abandon something and come back. unless I'm doing something wrong. And again, you guys are welcome to let me know what I did wrong there, and maybe I'm missing something that you guys are seeing and I'm not. So we did play out this move, back to the 4 hour now. We did play out this move of the Adam and Eve formation, and we had the measure and move and looked at it. It hit. Not bullshitting you. Go back and watch my previous videos where I told you guys we have two possible scenarios here. These two, it could be either a breakout of this formation, which if the breakout was to correspond to this entire formation, then this would have been the measured move after the breakout to about 15,331. That is, again, if we were to break out of this formation, but we actually broke out of a smaller formation, more of a micro trend here with the Adam and Eve. And here's a measured move, and look at it. We actually hit it, right? So we can definitely conclude that this breakout was because of this formation, right? And it did play out. Again, I've told you guys that I don't always trust them, but this was actually a move that can definitely be said to have played out in the end, right? So, and we did hit the measure and move. We did get out of this formation. We're onto newer, newer things. So just leave it at that. Now, currently, we did have an ascending triangle here. This support line is coming in from all the way back here, from about, let's just call it end of July, July 30th, and we have been respecting it for the last couple of weeks. And we did breach it just slightly. We did close a 4 hour underneath it, but then we regained it right back. It did come at the end of this formation, so it was pretty easy to get below and out of it. And it goes to say why I don't do in the crypto markets, why I don't use stop losses, because I would have gotten fished out here if I had set a stop loss right around at the bottom of this support line here, and then we regained it right away right after that, and we've actually gotten on top of this. This is a very micro trend, so I don't put a lot of weight on it, but it is playing out nonetheless. Now I'll tell you this: I have been playing this triangle in and out ever since we started this, in and out, just selling the resistance. Once I saw the resistance was up here, and then we pivoted down to this point, and then we could definitely say, especially if you look at the 2 hour, I'll go ahead and key into the 2 hour, because the 2 hour has actually been calling it perfectly. We did see the 2 hour, or the 2 hour top here. Resistance, and then this pivot point, and then this pivot point here, pivot high, setting this lower high, and then setting higher lows over here. Definitely let us know, hey, we're sort of in the ascending triangle formation, and it's really easy to call the tops and bottoms on here. We know we're in this formation, and I just been trading resistance, sell the resistance, buy the support, sell the resistance, buy the support, and I just been doing that repeatedly, and it's been working out 100% for me so far. So if you guys want to do that and need more help, definitely leave it down in the comments. I can, like I said, I will give you guys all the tips that you want or need that I could give you, share with you. I don't have a Discord channel or anything like that where we secretly have conversations, and I won't charge you for anything, because first of all, I don't think myself in that light where I would charge anybody for any advice or tips or anything on how to trade. So feel free to leave your comments or questions down below. I will get to them, I promise you. And if you want to message me directly, you can do so. I'm also on Twitter and Instagram at TheRealShah256. You can always send me messages there. Let me know you watched the video, reference the video, and then be specific about your questions too, so I can get to them and answer your questions in the specifically to what you're trying to do or trying to accomplish. So again, we've pretty much ran this formation out. So we should have some sort of decisive move pretty soon now. This looks like indecision, so it makes me a little nervous, but we do have a little support from excuse me again. We do have support here coming in from the 2 hour RSI, letting us know that we are definitely looking very bullish. We're currently in the neutral zone, neutral area. So there's not going to be much resistance now that we've gotten over the 21. So I do think with a little bit of volume, we can break out of this. Currently, we have been trading above the exponential here on the volume. signature here, the volume indicator, and so it does lead me to believe that there's more volume coming back into the market, and so these moves are going to be more violent now, whether they're up to whether they are to the upside or to the downside. These moves can be quite a bit more, more violent. So watch out for that. If we do, the more so the bullish case, right? We'll talk about that. If we end up breaking out here, look at that, lines up with our previous line of resistance, which is at coming in right at 13,000, 13,025, maybe that if we break out, it's Bitcoin is definitely going to halt here, make a pause, maybe come back down and retest the previous support line here at 12,450 before retesting this high over here. So look out for that. That is on the more immediate bullish case, 13.4. If we do get above that $13,000 resistance line here and start closing some 4 hours, maybe longer time frames, then we can definitely say that, hey, we're probably moving on. Most likely we're moving on to bigger, better things. In fact, let's look back a little bit. I want to use the 4 hour if I'm going to find the next point of resistance. It could be this point right here. This is definitely going to act as resistance. The next point would be 13,400, and we'll call it 75. And we are going to draw a line there for you guys to see. And we'll change it to red. Never mind, that's already red. Okay, so that's going to be our next point of resistance. Now, on the more bearish case, say that we do break down below. Look at that, matching up with the previous point of support here at 10,600. And let's also bring out our trend lines. Look at that, coming in right at the 200. And I've told you guys in this channel, if you've been paying attention, the 200 has been definitely a key area of support. If we do break down to the 200, you can go, guys. You guys can go back and watch previous videos for reference of that. I do go in detail and let you guys know, but for the sake of time, not taking too long on this particular update, I don't want to go back and say that, but go back and watch my videos. You guys can look at the reference I made about the 200 and how important that is. So if we break down below the 200, we are going to come to a quick halt here, and in my opinion, to about 10,365. If we break that, the 377 always serves as a big line of support. If we break that, then these green lines of previous support are going to be coming into big play around the 93, 98. But again, there would be a lot of work to do on Bitcoin's end to really come down and retest these prior areas of support. The measured move is calling for a 200 or for the 200 EMA down here at again about 10,600, 10,500 area. That would be, if we do break down below this area, that would be where I would be, definitely buying in. But you can scale your way back into a position here. From here, at the 55 always being a key level of support, always where you see the 55, and it always offers plenty of support there. A lot of times Bitcoin will touch it and go right back up from there. So, but if you do see it pierce through that to the downside, then my next area of interest would be the 200 or between 10.5 and 10.650. All right. So that is the 4 hour. 4 hour also looking pretty good, looking like this was a sharp turn around from this pivot low down here. Look at how drastic that was. I mean, usually you get U shapes, but then this one was very, very drastic. Just a complete turnaround on the RSI and piercing right through what it looks like, piercing right through the 21 exponential here on the RSI. So leads us on the shorter time frames to believe that we do have room to go and retest this prior high here. We're going to retest 12,300 and then also 12,350 or 12,450 here. All right. So yeah, on the bearish case, this would be what I'm looking for. Not looking to get too bearish because again we're still in an uptrend. There would just be too much. I mean, it would need too much sell pressure and the volume leads me to believe that, yeah, I mean, although we are above the exponential here on the volume side, and more violent moves, but this is as violent as I'm willing to get right here. This is as violent as I'm willing to get. Don't think that with this kind of volume we can get, a retest of this prior bottom here at 8,500. Okay, don't see that happening unless we do get unless we do get this type of volume here, selling volume down here where we did this sort of move. Let's put a measurement on it. About 23%, right? This sort of volume to a 23%. So if we do make a 23% drop from here, actually up here, let's go 23%. All right, and look at that, lines up with another area of support. So these are all technicals, guys. These are all technicals, and you have to look at these things. You have to definitely trust in them. If you do, I mean, guys, these are all these things are there as tools to help you trade. So use these things, right? Use everything that you got at your disposal, because these things do work. So we were saying down here would be the next area of a 23% drop if that were to happen. But again, we'd have to see this sort of volume for us to really talk about anything that drastic at this point. Again, we are on this sort of uptrend here. We'll see where we end up breaking out. Let's look at the daily now. And see where how things are looking of the more macro trend. We're still in the bullish case scenario. Again, a sharp correction here on the RSI to the upside leads us to believe that there's more room to run to the upside. Excuse me. All right, so there it is, looking pretty good here. Yeah, just got a cross to the upside here on the RSI. Doesn't look like it wants to retest the neutral zone here with the RSI, and price actions just staying pretty steady here. There's still opportunity here. If you want to trade this channel up here, just buy some resistance, sell some support, or get long here or short here. Not financial advice, of course. If you have a strategy, definitely let us know. Let's share this information so that other people can get in on as well. So yeah, let's take a look at the 1 hour. 1 hour is also telling us that there's more room to grow, more room to go to the upside. Let's actually stretch this out a bit so we can see it a little better. Is that better? Yep. Okay, respecting this again. Currently respecting this area of support down here on the 55. But tell you what, guys, I've been doing my last few tradings within this formation here, particularly until told otherwise by technical analysis. I've actually been using the 2 hour, and it's just been calling it very, very, very well, to the point, right? I mean, look at touching on the resistance, bouncing off the 55 here. And also using this line of support here, line of resistance up here. It's just been really, really key in finding the entry points and exit points for me. So just a tip, you guys can use 4 hour, 3 hour, 2 hour, whatever you think works best for you. I'm just sharing what actually worked for me in this last week within this formation here. If we take a look at the 3 hour, yeah, 3 hours just little off. Not really finding those key pivot points, as well as a 2 hour. So if you guys want to follow me on that, you're more than welcome to do that. Again, non-financial advice. Let's share the information. I'm just sharing again the wealth. Also, I don't want to do too much of this TA on altcoins. Let's just look at them really quick and see what's happening, and you guys will kind of tell why it's probably not worth your while and your time to really look at these. I wouldn't be trading alts right now. Look at everything. It's just, awful. Looking really, really bad. Everything's just on a down to lower lows. This one's what do we got here? Cardano ADA just looking, it's retesting this bottom here, but looking very weak. And also remember that Bitcoin dominance is just keeps going up and up. We're close to about 70% now on Bitcoin dominance. So XRP, same kind of thing. Although it is setting, it's actually retesting this area of support here. But overall, I mean, not a whole lot of volume. I will say this: I just heard of a big proposal from the XRP army and the community have reached out to the pretty much the CEO, Mr. Garlic House over at XRP, and demanding for the halt of the pretty much their monthly ritual where they dump about $250 million worth of XRP back onto the market. And they are, their efforts or their target, I guess, is for XRP to stop doing this because it creates inflation for the coin. And I've told you guys in previous videos, based on-chain effects, you can see and actually get the same information that I'm getting. XRP is one of the highest. XRP has one of the highest inflation indexes in the top 10 for cryptocurrency markets, along with XLM. XRP is sort of carrying about 25% inflation rate with their dumping again of their XRP from escrow onto the market. So my rebuttal to that would be, if you decided to invest in XRP, knowing that they have this sort of escrow schedule dump about $250 million worth back into the market, did you willingly invest in this coin knowing that that is something that is going to happen to you guys every month? If you did, then it just seems ridiculous that you want to ask Mr. Garlic House to halt the his monthly ritual of dumping $250 million worth of XRP back on the market. If you bought into XRP, you should have known that, and if you didn't know that, you do now. That's responsibility hitting you in the face. There's no other way to say it. You should have known about this, and if you did, and this is the result, and you're not happy with the result, you only have yourself to blame. These sort of things are real, and we see play out here with XRP. And really, I mean, you can say that, yeah, I mean, but XRP went to about $3.50 back in 2017. Yeah, but there was a lot of buyers, regardless of their inflation rate. There were a ton of buyers back then buying up XRP and pushing the price up. Not so much the case anymore. There's no more buyers. The XRP is about the only people holding it, I guess, at this point, because there just has not been any buying pressure coming in or new buyers coming into XRP. So we'll leave it at that. I'm not knocking XRP or anything like that. BNB coin did break out. Look at this. If we follow, not what I wanted to do. If we follow what I've been telling you guys before, I actually was not paying attention, so I missed this. But if you draw that and then you have a breakout, I mean, this thing really went on a massive tear. If I have to say, I do think it played the move. I think it played out the move. I think from here, it's going to come back down and retest the 21 certainly, and the 200, and then just trade in between those areas there. But that's kind of what it's looking like. But it definitely looks like it's exhausted its high for the time being at 31.77 cents. So just be careful out there, guys. Let's look at last one. Link also is one of my favorite coins to trade, but lately, I mean, it's just been doing this. So why trade in something like this when you can benefit from something like this, right? Volatility to the upside and downside. I mean, excuse me, plenty of buying and selling opportunity. So why would you deal with something like this, right? Or in this case, something like this. But again, I do think this is going to come back down and retest some lower areas. All right, that is all. I did. I was able to keep it nice, sweet, and short. Like I always say, hopefully you got something of value in exchange for your time. If you did, please like the video and also share it with your friends, family, whoever you think would benefit from this information. And hit the subscribe button. It would do me a huge deal of pride and honor. I will see you guys on the next one. Your boy, the Real Shot 256, signing out. See ya.